Nigeria is a country blessed with several solid mineral resources that can help diversify its foreign exchange earnings and the economy if adequately harnessed. Governments at all levels have made efforts to ensure significant focus on the non-oil sector. The federal government is exercising its absolute ownership and control by granting exploration and mining licenses and permits to legal miners. The current goal of government to raise non-oil sector will yield more positive results should other stakeholders collaborate effectively with the government. Our focus on Panorama today, coming to you live from Ibadan Zonal Center of the Network Service of NTA, is harnessing mineral resources towards improving Nigeria's economy. I am Kemi Oshi. Thank you for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Bank of Industry not to only regard all parts of the country as its theater of business operations. Inaugurating the bank's Tower 2 building in the Central Business District of Abuja, the president said the impact of interventions by the financial institution must also be felt across Nigeria. State House correspondent Adam Musambo has the details.
Regarded as Nigeria's largest, oldest and most successful development finance institution, the Bank of Industry completed its first 12-story tower building in 2010. This second tower, designed to be sustainable, eco-friendly and futuristic, is also a 12-story building representing the bank's vision for the future, that is to, amongst others, promote the emergence and development of a virile and competitive industrial sector in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari, who described the world-class edifice as a representation of the bank's contribution to the growing list of work-related infrastructure in the FCT, is particularly elated that it was financed from internally generated revenue. He noted with satisfaction that the Bank of Industry, as a policy institution of the federal government, is successfully executing its mandate of transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.
Through Bank of Industry, this government extended the single-digit interest rate loans to manufacturers. In furtherance of this mandate, the Bank of Industry has disbursed over 1.4 trillion naira to over 4.2 million beneficiaries, including micro, small, medium, and large enterprises, creating over 9 million jobs from the inception of its administration in 2015 to date.
And to further enhance the capacity of the bank for greater impact on the industrial sector, the president approved the issuance of a sovereign guarantee to help the bank raise funds in the Eurobond market. He expressed delight that the bank has recently completed the transaction by raising up to 750 million euros from international investors.
The proceeds of this Eurobond will be disbursed to large, medium, and small enterprises and women entrepreneurs with bankable projects. It is commendable that the bank sources its own funds for lending based on its investment grade ratings by the rating agencies.
We want to assure you that we will work harder to achieve more impact in the industrial sector. We have raised close to $4 billion in the last 4 years from over 100 international banks and investors from over 20 countries. we believe that in the next few years, we will increase that figure to $10 billion.
Reconstructed out of the Nigerian Industrial Development Bank in 2001, the Bank of Industry is a signatory to the United Nations Principles for Responsible Banking. It is the first Nigerian development finance institution to do so. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Muhammad Buhari has approved the reappointment of the entire management of the Nigerian Export-Import Nexim Bank. The reappointment follows the fact that the members of the bank were appointed on 10th April 2017 and their first 5-year term is due to expire on 9th April 2022, as contained in a statement by Yunus Atanko Abdullahi, Special Advisor, Media and Communication to the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning. Those involved in the reappointment are Abba Bello, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Bala Bello, Executive Director, Corporate Services, and Stella Ehuvu Oketete, Executive Director, Business Development. The statement adds that their performance was appraised as their tenure drew to an end and were found to have performed well, as exemplified by key achievements. Unity and tolerance are crucial values needed to safeguard peace and stability in a multi-religious society like Nigeria, says Vice President Yemi Osinbajo when he receives a delegation of imams, Islamic scholars and Muslim leaders from across the country. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the meeting noted that until there is engagement with the people, one cannot tell what they and others want. Engagement is so important. I believe very strongly in engagement, he says, narrating his experience since becoming vice president and how people welcome engagement by their leaders, even in difficult circumstances. While expressing his delight at the coming of the delegation, the vice president notes that it is not often that one gets the honor of such a visit. Vice President Osinbajo urged religious and political elites to show more responsibility in ensuring peace and positive changes in society. As the Vice President notes, religious elites, just like the political elites, are responsible for ensuring positive change. The Vice President suggested the creation of a forum of religious leaders who see themselves more on a rescue mission with the purpose of forging more understanding among the citizenry. Some members of the delegation speak more on the visit.
His Excellency, the Vice President, has always expressed his love for people, regardless of their religion, regardless of their ethnic disposition. And I think these leaders who have come together, who are the leaders of the various organizations and Muslim communities, have come to collaborate, to give advice, to give a lot of input into how we can continue to achieve good governance, and economic development, youth empowerment, and what have you, without being distracted by our religious differences.
A myriad of challenges in this country, more especially, which you are all aware, the issue of insecurity. So we have come to ginger the government to work hard and harder to overcome this challenge. The bandits must not be given the chance to feel elated. Corrupt leaders need to be punished. People need to see corrupt people are punished. That will be the deterrence.
To be God-fearing, to be just, and not to use the religious sentiments in taking any political decision.
The State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Muslims in Nigeria have been advised to look out for the crescents that will signify the commencement of Ramadan fast from 1st of April 2022, equivalent to 1443 after Hijrah. The Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, in a statement by the Director of Administration, Zubairu Haruna, Usman Ugu, said the search for the new moon should commence immediately after sunset on Friday, 1st April 2022. The statement added that if the crescent is sighted by Muslim of impeccable character, the Sultan of Sokoto, who is the General of the Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, will declare Saturday, 2nd April 2022. If the crescent is not sighted, however, that day, then Sunday, 3rd April 2022 automatically becomes the first day of Ramadan, according to the statement. The following numbers are to be contacted. Creating a synergy between security agencies and concerned stakeholders in the society has been identified as part of measures to stem the tide of insecurity bedeviling the country. This stopped discussion at the groundbreaking ceremony and sword turning for the permanent site of a Nigerian Air Force base in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Kayode Oladoshu has the reports.
Turning the sword on a 58.58 hectares of land for the Nigerian Air Force permanent base located in Nigeria, a suburb of Ibadan. Governor Seyi Makinde said this new development is part of ways to build robust security architecture for your state and the nation at large through its administration's civil-military relationship.
When completed, this new base will improve the operational reach of the Nigerian Air Force, and this will enhance crisis response time.
Earlier, Air Marshal Oladayo Amao was at the governor's office on a cozy call with a promise that the Nigerian Air Force will not relent in the fight against insecurity in the country.
With this allocation of land and also the ones that we are aspiring to get at the airport, we are able to bring up other facilities and make upgrade the units in Ibadan.
The 671 Nigerian Air Force Detachment Ibadan was established in March 1992 to provide operational support services to Nigerian Air Force aircraft operating in the southwest region of the country. In Ibadan, Kayode Oladoshu, NTA News.
We now pause for a break. Panorama continues shortly. Stay with us.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Years, petroleum resources has been the major source of economic development of the nation. However, the low attention on other natural resources has posed various challenges in boosting the economy. Grace Anyoleke in this report takes a look at the alternative source of economic development outside crude oil.
Finding alternatives to petroleum resources as the mainstay of the Nigerian economy has been a major task, not only to the government of Nigeria, but the people generally. However, the nation is believed to be endowed with various natural resources that could fetch the necessary foreign exchange that could turn the economy around. From Lagos to Kano, Kano to Maiduguri, Maiduguri to Calabar. The nation can boast of solid mineral resources in abundance.
Nigeria is blessed with several potentials in terms of solid minerals, which are yet to be fully abridged and fully developed. The solid mineral industry will assist in providing the appropriate raw materials as feedstock for a lot of industries in the country. So it's going to be a win-win-win-win thing if the solid mineral resource of this nation is fully developed and harnessed.
It is the belief of many experts that if necessary measures are taken, the sector could provide adequate employment for the Nigerian youth.
Have National Physical Development Plan and the Regional Physical Development Plan, which will highlight different potential of each of the regions in terms of vegetation, in terms of mineral deposits, in terms of agricultural produce, and some other natural endowments.
Available data reveals that contributions from the solid minerals sector amount for 0.26% of Nigeria's gross domestic product, despite the abundance of vast resources. In Ibadan, Grace Ayoleke, NTA News.
And with that, we move on into the discussion segment. And with me in the studios is the Director General of your State Mineral Development Agency, Oladapo Oladimeji. You're welcome to Panorama Studios.
Welcome.
We're talking mineral endowment and mineral resources in Nigeria. In terms of these natural resources, how rich is the country?
Well, God has really blessed Nigeria as a country in terms of mineral resources. Let's start from the byproducts of petroleum. Okay, the natural gas is very abundant, and of course, bitumen and petroleum that are not actually petroleum. Nigeria is quite blessed with that. And then going into mineral resources, we are blessed with a lot of gold, diamond, tantalite, other gemstones and minerals in the country. And coming to industrial minerals, we have a lot of feldspar, talc, and so on and so forth.
Okay, that's quite interesting to know. And now we know that you are in Oyo State.
Yes.
What are the mineral resources available in the state?
Well, let's first of all thank Almighty God, because He's the one that put these mineral resources in our state. We are quite blessed with quite a number of mineral resources. On the gemstone side, we are blessed with a lot of tantalite, agate, aquamarine, and so on and so forth. Even we have gold in Oyo State, a little bit of diamonds some places, and then also going into the industrial minerals. Of course, every part of Oyo State is full of granite stones, so that's one of our strong points.
Okay.
And then with that, we have the feldspar, the talc in the industrial area, part of the industry.
The state. Okay.
Yes.
Now, we know that Nigeria as a country is looking towards diversion of the economy from oil, basically petroleum reliant.
Yes.
And this mineral resources seems to be other way to look to. How do you think it can be harnessed as an alternative source of generating income for the country?
Well, just like I said, since we are quite blessed with these mineral resources, all we have to do is to try to beautify some of these gemstones so that we can maximize our advantage on it.
Okay.
What do I mean by beautification? I mean improving. Instead of selling it as raw materials, we try to improve on it to either finish or half finish. That way we can maximize
You're talking about value addition.
Value added, yes.
Okay, so what is Oyo State doing in this direction?
Well, we thank God for the governor that we have in our state, in person of Engineer Oluseyi Makinde. He has been very magnanimous with us in our agency because he has actually given us a lot of free hand to work and giving us resources to back it up. We are putting up a lapidary in Oyo State now, whereby the miners will not have to take their gemstones outside of your state before they can be refined. Okay. That way we can get our value in our gemstone. Also, the gemstone market, in partnership with the federal government, is in Oyo State. That is where all the southwestern states will come and market their stones before either exported abroad or sell locally in the country.
Okay, now, is there a partnership between the states and the federal government in the area of those mineral resources?
Well, we quite have a very good relationship with the federal government. One of it is what I just mentioned. The gemstone market in Oyo State, that's located in Oyo State, is the only one in the zone here, with the southwestern zone of Nigeria. And that is an area where every surrounding state can bring their gemstones and try to market it to the outside world. And it's the partnership with the federal government and the Oyo State government. So that's one area. Also, the lapidary that I spoke about before is another area of trying to generate revenue for the state. Okay. And then that way we can beautify some of these gemstones. So
what would you say are the challenges you face or that are being faced in harnessing these mineral resources?
Well, there are quite a bit of challenges that we are facing. Of course, that is peculiar. It's not only peculiar to the mineral resources, okay, but to probably all other facets of the economy of Nigeria. In the area of equipment, we are lacking behind in the area of equipment. And then, of course, funding for the miners. You know, most miners, they are artisan miners, and it's not because of the materials not here, but most of it is because they don't have the resources to actually do this mining the way it's supposed to be done. And the area of equipment, they need equipment, and funding is what really can help them.
Okay, apart from funding, yes, let's look about the issue of illegal mining, especially in this area. How is that affecting the business?
Well, it's actually affecting the business of mining. But what we are doing in Oyo State is we are partnering with the Federal Ministry of Mines. Okay. And then that way we're synergizing as far as going around to check for illegal miners and make sure that anywhere we get reports or whatever that there are illegal miners somewhere, we get up and go and check on them if they are licensed, and if they are not licensed, we try to stop them from mining. That way we can control mining resources of Oyo State.
And finally, what will be your parting word to Nigerians out there as regards maximizing these resources?
Well, I want to encourage Nigeria at large, especially the people with the big bucks in the bank, to try to invest in mining, because that's the way of the future for the country and our state in Nigeria.
That's the way of the future and of the country. I've been speaking with the Director General of Oyo State Mineral Development Agency, Oladapo Oladimeji. Thank you. Up next is Sports Updates with Ayodeji Makinde.
Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, has inaugurated a 9-member panel to investigate and fish out perpetrators of vandalism at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, in the aftermath of Nigeria versus Ghana FIFA World Cup playoffs. The panel, chaired by retired Deputy Inspector General of Police Sani Usman Mohammed, has Olumide Bamiduro as its secretary, with a 2-week mandate to conclude its mission.
Destroying public infrastructure in any country is not something that should be tolerated. And because we've seen this happening gradually in the country, when you look at how long it took to bring this back, when you look at the amount that was spent initially before Koja, and then it was brought back in its glory for the purpose and for the use of Nigerians.
In another development, the Nigeria Football Federation is in search for a new technical crew after it withdrew the 2.5-year contract offered to coaches before Super Eagles fell to the Black Stars of Ghana in the World Cup playoffs, just as Augustine Eguavoin resigned as interim technical advisor of the team.
The honorable thing for him to do is to quit, and I want to applaud him for that, for taking the bold initiative to say, I no longer want to remain as the interim technical advisor.
The Super Eagles have moved 2 steps up to 30th position in FIFA ranking released Thursday and still occupy the 3rd position on the continent behind African champions Senegal in 20th position and Morocco in 24th. Away from football, the 5th One Service, One Medal Awesome Games commenced Thursday in Abuja, with 9 military and paramilitary organizations competing for honors in 17 events till April 4. The championship targets discovering world beaters in Nigeria's service arms. With sports update, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
Panorama today. That has been Panorama today, reaching you from Ibadan Zonal Center. Thanks for watching. Remember, be a star, connect with NTA, stand against rape and rapists.
From dusk to dawn, 24